You had not had a drop of alcohol.
No, I was an athletic director at the time, and I was leaving a boys' golf match, and I bought both school districts dinner, a hot dog, French fries, soda. I ate with them. I pulled out of the parking lot. I called the Board of Education vice president. There was a bullying situation I wanted to check up on. I got pulled over for having a phone in my hand, and again, it was right around .18.
What was harder at that time, like the legal consequences or not being believed?
Not being believed, 100%. You know, just it was friends, colleagues, family. You know, my parents, my wife's parents.
You lost your job.
I did lose my job, yes.
And your wife Gina even said she was ready to potentially leave you.
That's correct.
Because they thought you were hiding something.
That's correct, yes.
This condition, this auto brewery syndrome, the body produces alcohol without drinking?
Let me start by saying what auto brewery syndrome means. For the lay public, it is your body is making alcohol without you drinking any alcohol from outside. And this can happen by you being exposed to antibiotics, which have changed the bacterial flora in your intestines and your stomach, which will now allow fungi to overgrow, suppressing the good bacteria that kept the fungi in check before, and then make alcohol from carbohydrate substrate. For example, brewer's yeast is a fungus we found in Mongiardo. And brewer's yeast, as you know, makes beer when you add a carbohydrate to it. Yeah. So Mark was his own brewery. Mark's got was his own brewery.
Yeah. When you were told this, I've read your story like 50 times, and I still have no words.
It was so overwhelming, and it was so much joy actually when Dr. Wick just came into the room and shook his head and he said, "You have auto brewery syndrome." You know, it was so overwhelming for me, and it was years of people judging, you know, relationships strained with my family, my wife's family, you know, and it was just so much joy at the time when I was finally had my answer.